MMA Meltdown on the Fight Network continues. I'm Gabriel Morency. Let's send it to Costa Rica. Joey Odessa joins us. We have no fights to break down this week, but we can hit the rewind button, take a look back at what just happened this past weekend, and maybe to fast forward into the future as well. Joey, it's always a pleasure. How you doing?
What's happening, G? Usually we don't like to go in reverse, but there's not much going on this week. It's actually slow for a few weeks, Bellator and UFC.
And boxing as well. It's just slow across the board as far as combat sports are concerned. And I know you don't like the rear view mirror, but you don't like to look too forward into the future either, because half these fights never actually happen. But I'll tell you what, the month of September is looking pretty good. And UFC 178 is really filling up right now, Joey, with Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier. There's been a lot of talk about Cormier's knees. Cormier did not get knee surgery. I guess he was going to get knee surgery. He was about to go to the doctor and talk about, all right, are we going to do this? I'm going to get the knee surgery. But he's taken a fight against Jon Jones. He says, yes, the knee is sore. I went running. I'm not going to lie, the knee is sore, but I'm going to be fine for the fight. And it seems like the knee issues are in a lot of people's heads right now early, Joey, and one of the reasons why they think that Jon Jones is going to beat Daniel Cormier.
I don't think it's going to be a big factor. I mean, what's it going to do? Enable him from moving, his footwork? I mean, come on. You got two different style matchups here, and Jon Jones has never faced an Olympian of Daniel Cormier's caliber. I mean, or a wrestler of Cormier's caliber. It translates so well to MMA. Cormier's like a bully wrestler. Right? It's going to be a great fight. Jones has opened up a small favorite. A little over 2-1 favorite at some places, low limit. It might go up to 220, 225, but, after the preview shows and stuff, and, people don't know a lot about Daniel Cormier, except the fact that he's just knocking out heavyweights and he's just beating the hell out of everybody.
I think Daniel Cormier is going to beat Jon Jones, and it'll be interesting to see how the preview shows and the countdown shows sell this, whether people buy into Cormier, or I don't think they will. I think they're going to buy into the younger guy. I think they're going to think Cormier is older, and they're going to look at the way he looks physically. And, as I tweeted when the fight was announced, keep clicking as far as Jon Jones is concerned, but that's a little ways in the future. But it's a hell of a card. They just added Bobby Green. We were going to get Bobby Green on this week's show, but unfortunately he was unable to make it, Joey. So, Bobby Green gets Masvidal, but we look back at this past weekend's card. You and I both liked a lot of the underdogs. Most of the dogs didn't get there, but one of them that did was Bobby Green. Controversial decision to some. I didn't think so. I think if the fight was anywhere else, it would have been clear-cut that Bobby Green had won the fight, but I was somewhat expecting the San Jose screw job in Josh Thompson's backyard.
Yeah, I thought Bobby Green was going to lose the fight. There was a lot of punches thrown by Josh, but they weren't landed. I tell you what, Bobby Green's head movement was exceptional in that fight, and he was the aggressor. Hindsight 100%, everybody's got a different take on a fight, but, Bobby Green fought his ass off, and as a near 4-1 underdog. I mean, people were all over Thompson, the venue and stuff, and, I pretty much had an X to loser. I thought I was going to lose the fight. Just like Khrushchev after the third round. I mean, I thought it was 1-1 going in, and Masvidal, talk about showing some heart and getting off the canvas. He came right back. Great fight though. I like this weekend's fights.
I stepped out of the room for a moment. I came back in, and Masvidal was on his back, and I did the fist pump. Yeah, plus 225, the cash. And I'm like, oh no, he's getting up. And he's a tough son of a bitch, Masvidal. As we say, the guy's fighting on the streets of Miami in the old days before he was a professional mixed martial artist. And Robbie Lawler's just a machine right now, Joey. He's just a machine. Matt Brown was great. It almost reminded me, I don't know if it's the best comparison, because I don't know if Matt Brown is as good as Junior Dos Santos, but it almost like, Matt Brown climbed the ladder, and he just sort of got to the top. It's like, yeah, you're just not quite good enough. Like Lawler's footwork, his elusiveness, the combinations. Matt Brown showed a ton of heart, and I love Matt Brown, and I bet on Matt Brown, and I'm not hating on him for losing it all, but you just sort of saw the difference in caliber between Robbie Lawler and Matt Brown. Like Brown was sort of, wildly swinging. Lawler nice and compact. Lawler's just in a freaking zone right now, Joey.
I tell you, he is fighting great. I mean, it's emotional maturity, I think he doesn't feel a lot of pressure out there. He might be actually fighting for fun now. It's a big difference. Guys, when guys fight because they have to fight, or when they're fighting for, everybody fights for money, but when it becomes more fun and it's not a die-hard necessity win, I mean, sure, you always need to win, but I think that Robbie Lawler's matured emotionally. I tell you what, the big surprise is, and he's shutting everybody's trap up, is Patrick Cummings. I mean, I touted Cummings when he was fighting Cormier, and so did Dana White. We went out there and we all ate crow, because he kind of turtled up and we thought it was another Brock Lesnar. But this Patrick Cummings is not a bad fighter, and I'm not saying he's a guy to beat John Jones or anything like that, but Patrick Cummings is no joke. I mean, he has he's starting to transition well, and he's a phenomenal athlete. That was, he took Kingsbury to school.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up, Joey. But speaking of no jokes, the 205 division is stacked right now with Anthony Johnson dropping nuclear bombs on people's heads. We talked about Johnson just being devastating. It was one favorite. That was no parlay buster there. Nogueira got busted up there. We got to wrap it up, Joey. Man, time just flew by today. Always a pleasure. Thanks, Joey.
Hey, my pleasure, Gabe. Have a good one.
Joey Odessa, a little disappointed. Hey, he's ready. He's all fired up and ready to go. We'll come back with our videos of the week. MMA Meltdown continues.